All right, this lesson is a continuation or expansion off of our lesson from earlier in the week on simplifying radical expressions. We're going to be involving the same process, but in this case, we also have variables underneath our radical symbol. All right, so again, not a lot changes. We're going to factor the radicand using a factor tree. Anytime we find a pair of numbers, we're going to box them. And at the end, we're going to circle any of the unboxed numbers. If there are variables, we're going to factor those as well. And then at the end, we're going to take anything we boxed and move it outside. And anything that we circled is going to stay inside. All right, so let's start first with our numbers. So if you look at the first example, we have 48V. So I'm going to take the number 48 and I'm going to break it up. 48 can be broken into 6 times 8. Then I'm going to take 6, and it's going to be 3 times 2, and 8 is 2 times 4. I've got 2, so I'm going to box those. 4 breaks into 2 times 2. Box that as well, and the 3 gets circled. All right, now when it comes to letters, with the variables, we're going to look at the exponent. The exponent on v is really v to the first power. So we're going to look at part 2 where it says if the exponent is odd, we're going to split one of those away. Now in this case, there's only one, so there's nothing to split. So what we would do here is simply circle the letter v. All right, again, as we did in the last lesson, we're going to take anything that we box. We're going to bring one of those out, 2 from this set right here, and then 2 from this set right here, 2 times 2 times, and then underneath our radical symbol, we're going to have the 3 and the v. So the answer to this one, 2 times 2, is 4 times the square root of 3v. All right, now we're going to look at 240. All right, so I'm going to break up 240 into 24 times 10. 24, I'm going to do 3 times 8. 10 is going to be 2 times 5. I'm going to break up 8 into 4 times 2. I'm going to box that with the 2 right here. And then 4 breaks into 2 times 2, and I'm going to box that as well. Okay, I've got a 3 and a 5 that don't have any buddies. All right, now when it comes to the variable x to the 4th, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it just for some space. Okay, if I look at x to the 4th, that's an even exponent. And it says split the exponent in half for each factor and box them. So I'm going to put an x on each side, and I'm going to split the exponent in half. So I'm going to put x squared and x squared. Because they're alike, I'm going to box them. And then again, anything that's boxed gets taken one at a time on the outside. So I've got a 2, and an x squared. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times x squared, or 4x squared. And then underneath my radical symbol, I'm going to have 3 times 5, which is 15. So my answer would be 4x squared times the square root of 15. All right, now when we go to the next example, we've got a 4 on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and box it because it's been brought outside. Then we have 75y to the 5th. So I'm going to break up 75 into 3 times 25. 25 breaks up into 5 times 5. I'm going to box that and circle the 3. Now, y to the 5th, it has an odd exponent. So we're going to pull one variable away. So we're going to pull a y away, and we're going to put the other 4 on the other side. Okay, we do that because we know when there's an odd numbered exponent, one of those y values has to stay underneath the radical symbol because it won't have a partner or a buddy. Now that we're down to y to the 4th, we're going to split it evenly, y squared times y squared. And then I'm going to box the y squareds. Okay, again, anything that's boxed, I'm going to multiply together. So I have a 4 times 5 times y squared on the outside, and then underneath I have a 3 and a y. 3 times y. So when I write that in simplified form, 4 times 5 is 20 y squared times the square root of 3y. All right, and for our last example, on the outside we have a 3x, so I'm going to box that. I'm going to start with my 24, split it up into 4 times 6. 4 is 2 times 2. Gonna box that, and 6 is 2 times 3. So I'm going to circle the 2, circle the 3 because they don't have a buddy. All right, then I'm going to go to x squared. So I'm going to write x squared. Again, that's an even exponent, so I'm going to split it evenly. X times x. So x times x is x squared. I'm going to box that because they're buddies. All right, then I have y to the third power. It's odd, so I'm going to separate one y, so y times y squared. Circle the y that's solo and split y squared into y times y and box it. And then lastly, we have the variable z, which is z to the first. There's only one, so it has to be circled. All right, now when I go to rewrite, I'm going to write anything that I have boxed and multiply it together. So I've got 3x times 2 times x times y, and all of that is with the square root of, we've got 2, a 3, a y, and a z. So 2 times 3 times y times z. All right, when I melt that all together, I'm going to start on the outside. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. And then a y on the outside times the square root of 2 times 3 is 6 y z. So my answer for that one is 6 x squared y times the square root of 6 y z. All right, so I hope this helped you out as you work through these. Again, I've boxed our simplified answers so they're easy for you to see. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher.